Hi folks, Mike here from Hebden Photography, back once again with another tutorial. Somebody saw this picture up on one of my Facebook pages and made a comment to me about it. They liked it and wanted to know how to do it, so I figured I'll let you know what we did there. So let's get at it. First thing, what I've done is I'll tell you exactly how we shot it in the first place, so that if you wanted to do this on your own. My friend Derek and I went to the park down the street. Figured this would be an okay place to do a shot like this. Lots of little places to stand and whatever and pose all over the place, and it kind of had, what we were looking for. A lot of different areas in a small area, if that makes any sense. So once we kind of figured out where we were going to set up the camera, and I'm actually on another platform similar to this on this side of the monkey bars here, which you can see are kind of tilted askew because of the wide angle lens we were using, but it makes no difference here. It's just for fun. I have the camera up on a tripod, nice sturdy tripod. I framed it all perfectly, and now we're going to shoot in manual mode. I exposed for the grass, no, there's no grass, not really. I exposed for the scene down below. Blowing out the sky means we don't have to worry about the differences in the clouds or anything like that. And again, we're just having a bit of fun here. So what I've got now open in Photoshop is a bunch of the pictures that we took, and all I did was have Derek go and pose in different places in the scene. So here he is up on the top of whatever that might be called, and we'll get him playing over here on the rings, making it. He's gonna love this. Over on the top, you can see all the pictures we used, and just run through the scene and do whatever comes natural in several different places, and we'll try and blend those in and over each other and see what we can do. Now, in order to get all these pictures open in one Photoshop file was what I had to do. I'll just bring this over for you right now. Here's one of the pieces that we had. You can see I'll right click on it and open it with Photoshop CS5. There it is, opened up in its own little tab. If I were to hit Control A, and that would select the entire image. I could then copy it. You can also do that by going to Select All. You can see the shortcut here, Control A. Now Control C would be the same as going Edit Copy, and I've done that. Now if I go into the other tab, I can highlight the top layer and hit Edit, then Paste, or Control V, which is my preferred method, and there it is. It's opened up this layer. I can now close that file, and the picture is in here. I actually have that one in here somewhere already, right there, so we'll just delete it since we've already got it. Now what I'll do is bring all of these pictures back, and we're going to go about hiding them all, or masking each one. So what I'll do is I'll apply a black layer mask over this picture. Here's the Add Layer Mask button right here. If I hold down the Alt key and click that button, it applies a black layer mask right here. Highlight the next layer down, do the same thing. Alt Add Layer Mask, next layer, Alt Add Layer Mask. You guessed it, we'll go down the line, and we'll leave the background the way it was. We don't have to work on that. This will be the base picture right here, and we'll just work on these ones. Now all I need to do is unmask Derek where he happens to be in this photo. Now the problem is I'm not 100% sure based on the size of that thumbnail. I can sort of see, I think he's in here somewhere actually. Some of them aren't quite as easy to see. If I hold down Shift and I click on that mask, it'll disable it. So now this is visible, and I know that's the one we're looking at because it's over top of the background. So I know Derek is right here. Just a click on that will mask that back again. Let's go over here and get my brush out of my tools palette. I'm going to want to paint in white. If you haven't got these set properly, you can click this, or you can hit the D key, which will set you to the default colors. I'm painting in white at a 100% opacity. up. I'm going to right click here and just show you I'm painting at a hardness of 0. That's going to give us some softer edges, and like I say, I know where Derek is now. He's right around here, and there he is. So now I'm just going to paint over him. I got to be careful, so I only want to really just expose him and a little bit extra. See, now what's happened here is because I've got the softer brush, and it lets us blend in each one of these pictures. He looks very real here, and if there were any minute little differences in the picture here, they don't really show up because they're blended in, but it bled over. It bled over here. You can see it's working even though it hasn't touched it. It's working on the image over here. So I'm just now gotta hit the X key to swap, and you saw that just happen right here. Swap, swap. Now I've got black. That's my foreground color, and I have just got to paint back over Derek here to bring him back. There's a smaller brush, and now there we are. So you can already see when I bring this back to the screen, we've got 2 of him here. I mean, as simple as that. Now that's you know the technique now. There he is right there. Shift click on the mask. Now just click on the mask. Grab my brush. Paint in white. That's set at 100% opacity. Let's go find him. Here he is, and now I know the lines I can follow. I can zoom in and do a bit of a better job of it. There we are. Okay, smaller brush. This version of Derek is behind this version of Derek, so you gotta be careful not to let too much of him show through. It can be tricky. Take your time with it, though. I mean, really, it's worth it to take the time and to go ahead, and if you make a mistake or you really let out too much of the image and it gets over top of another one. There we are. Just see. You really have to make sure you get it all. And you can go back again by swapping, hitting X or anything you like, and make the brush a little smaller and do your detail work. These overlapping things can really become confusing. So you really want to stay focused on what it is you're doing. You have a workflow. I'm going from the bottom over here to the top. I'm always working in that fashion so that I know what mask I'm painting on, because it can get really confusing. Now I'm swapping back to white to bring Derek out again, and just ever so carefully bringing him back where he belongs. That's where you belong. Now the hardness, if it's close to an edge like this, brush hardness is it's okay. You can use your brush a lot harder than you did in the beginning. You can see. I'll show you that. That was actually a really good example that just came by. That is a rather hard brush print. It has a hard outline to it. You can really see it if, without changing anything other than the hardness of the brush, and I click here, it just gradually goes from 100% opacity in the center of the brush to a little lighter on the outside. So you can see what's happening. When you're fuzzy here, it can give you a problem on the edges. So you will want to harden the brush up for the lines, the sharper lines, like this. Yeah, this looks pretty good to me. Pretty good. Very well defined so far, nothing missing. There we are. Fantastic. I'll bring the brush size back up and we'll get over here. These things, this part is a lot easier. We're not overlapping another area. Now the thing is, you don't want to go too far outside of Derek here, because then you can confuse the mask later. So we're really just no farther than the edge. If I start out into here and start masking this tree and stuff, you don't know what you're masking over. It can cause you some problems later down the line. Just stay within the confines of what it is we're masking out. And if you want to have a look at that mask, Alt, there we go. So we can see here where it's kind of blurry, and that just helps us blend in with the background, just in case there was any camera shake or any, differences in the hard lines. But here we had to harden it up. We had to harden it up quite a bit because there's a hard edge here. This is the bottom line of his jacket. There we go. Okay, here we go. Yet again, we're going to do the same thing. Let's just make sure that I have the layer mask that I'm going to be painting selected, and then we'll paint right where we thought he was. Yep, perfect. There he is. And reveal him. Again, keep the brush size appropriate. I could make a giant swipe and just reveal everything, but your mask really should just mask over what you're trying to reveal. There we are. Good. There he is. Just before he fell, actually. Okay, he never fell. I don't even remember. Next. Click it. Shift click it. Reveal it again. Okay, let's zoom in on it. We know he's right here. I'll take my brush and we'll start brushing. There he is. Whoop, I'm on top of the playground. That's what he said. There we go. Now just revealing the whole area. And very careful about going too far. We just want to reveal him and not much more else. That's good. Next layer in line. Shift. Click. Here he is over here. I guess we can work in a smaller. Zoom that out a bit. Grab the brush and start painting. Ooh, fantastic. It's that. Looking good. Looking good. We got just the one more here, and then we got a couple of more. Well, maybe not. Just the one more. Here we are. There he is there. That's clicked. I have my brush selected still, and there he is. There we are. I click this little arrow here and flatten the image. We're all flat now. It's one picture, and then I can save it, and we're done with it. Hopefully that was educational or fun or neat, or maybe you're not even here still. It doesn't matter. Have a wonderful day.